Hey, church family. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe and healthy. It's certainly good to be with you on this Wednesday as we again get together for a little midweek Bible study and devotional time. And I'm so glad that you have chosen to join us to do just that today. Our culture is consumed with the idea of leaving behind a legacy after we die. We want our brief lives on this earth to be filled with meaning, and so we strive to have something significant that outlasts us. We want our efforts to go into an account that has some surplus at the end of our lives that can be passed on to the next generation. We desire some sort of stamp of approval that says that our lives were not pointless and meaningless, that they provided some meaning to those around us. And so we pursue meaning and purpose in things like wisdom and work and possessions and achievements. And the hope is that what we gain in our pursuit will be able to bring satisfaction in this life, and that we can die happy knowing that we gained enough to benefit those who come after us, that we have a lasting legacy that'll be remembered. And certainly, I'm not saying those are bad things per se, but King Solomon in Ecclesiastes shows us the futility of such pursuits. If anyone had reason to boast of his resume, it was certainly Solomon. He built more and achieved more than any king of Israel. He was far wiser than those before him. He did whatever his heart desired, and he had everything that really he could ever want. Circumstances could not have been better for Solomon to enjoy every second of his life on earth and to have a legacy that generations after him would try and emulate. But rather than this being the case, Solomon says in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 17, I came to hate life, he says, because everything done here under the sun is so troubling. Everything is meaningless, like chasing the wind. I mean, he was the wisest person alive, and he still did not find meaning. He accomplished far more than other kings and still was not satisfied. He had everything that he could ever want, and it still wasn't enough. You say, why? Well, because he recognized that wise or foolish, rich or poor, being a success or a failure, at least as the world defines it, he was still going to die. His wisdom would be forgotten and his achievements would be squandered or surpassed by others. Whatever legacy he thought he was leaving wouldn't last, for he would be forgotten like all the generations before him. So his point was, what's the point in chasing after those things as first priority? So if leaving a legacy that lasts was out of the question, then maybe he would find satisfaction in pursuing pleasure. Being a rich, wise, successful king, Solomon could do whatever he wanted, and he, in fact, did just that, denying himself nothing that he wanted. He says in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verses 8 through 10, I collected great sums of silver and gold, the treasures of many kings and provinces. I hired wonderful singers, both men and women, and had many beautiful concubines. I had everything a man could desire. Anything I wanted, I would take. I denied myself no pleasure, he says. And he didn't deny that they did indeed bring a measure of pleasure, but that pleasure was short-lived and didn't bring the satisfaction and significance that he really wanted. And so he concluded that there was really nothing to truly be gained under the sun. He denied himself nothing in the pursuit of pleasure, and ultimately he got nothing in return. Such is the reality when we look for ultimate meaning and satisfaction, as Solomon found out from things that were really never meant to provide that for us. Because the reality is that only God can give us the meaning and purpose and fulfillment and satisfaction and joy that our soul truly longs for. Only in Him do we have an eternal hope. Life lived without Him means that all we have are vain pursuits after things that don't satisfy and don't last. But when we are connected to Him through faith in Jesus Christ, we can rightly enjoy the good things in this world. God is not some cosmic buzzkill who just wants to cramp our style. Rather than keep us from having a good time and enjoying the things of this world, He wants us to have abundant life and fullness of joy and genuine pleasures forever. But these things are only found by being reconciled to God through faith in Jesus Christ and enjoying His presence. Having this type of relationship with God is the only true way to truly enjoy life to the fullest. As Solomon says in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verses 24 and 25, "So I decided there is nothing better than to enjoy food and drink and to find satisfaction in work. Then I realized that these pleasures are from the hand of God. For who can eat or enjoy anything apart from Him?" So if you want to truly enjoy the things of this world, spend time in God's presence. Pursue Christ first and foremost, so that your pursuit of the good gifts He gives you in this life are only a means to enjoy Jesus all the more. And if you want to truly leave a legacy that will last, live your life on this earth wholeheartedly devoted to Jesus. That's the only lasting legacy that we can leave. Because the reality is all other pursuits are ultimately futile, and all other legacies will be forgotten. But God's legacy of what He's done and what He's doing for the world in Christ is the only one that will endure for eternity. As C.T. Studd once said, "Only one life, it will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last." Hope you have a blessed day. God bless.